What's up, dude? This is me about to show off the amazing tonal qualities that I'm able to pull out of both Blondie and this 230 euro amp that I picked up. And the guitar itself is only 113 euro as well. So for, let's see, less than 350 euro, this is what I fucking got. Now, I had to put in some sweat and some grease, elbow grease, that is, in order to get it this way. Lots of research, doing some soldering, some flesh wounds associated with that, and yeah, but lots of hard work and love and TLC went into turning a 113 euro guitar into possibly the most savage tonal beast I have ever heard come through what is essentially a Blues Junior clone, which isn't meant to be a metal amp. It's meant to be, blues, clean, jazzy, that kind of stuff. And I'm not going to use any distortion. I'm just going to use purely amp gain and tone and volume control on the guitar itself. And you can listen with your own ears and you can let me know what you think. But first, let me show off a few other things. So, let me flip this around if I can do. Is there a way to flip it around? I don't think so. Anyways, so this is, it's hard for me to see from this angle. This is basically, Sweet Demon. We can see that she's missing a nut. I've ordered one. And it came, and I took the nut out. You can see how big the fucking hole is there. So I had to order a jumbo-sized nut, and then I had needed to fucking file the shit down to size. And so I placed the original nut and the nut that I was to file to size, somewhere with the rest of my guitar stuff, and somehow both of them disappeared. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so I basically just told the guy on eBay, look, the first one never arrived. Can I get a reshipped? So the guy is going to send me a new one, but I don't have the template for the original nut to go off of. So I'm going to have to eyeball that shit. But basically, you can see in the nuts for all of my guitars, here we've got Black Beauty in all of her glory. Here, fuck it, I suck at trying to get everything in full view when I can't see it from behind. But yeah, that's her in all of her full glory. But you can check and see that in the nut, you see how it's black? You can see that I had to really chisel out the nut that they stuck in there was it was so super glued in there. I had to fucking get a hammer and chisel and fucking bang that shit out to the point that I chipped the top part of the fretboard. And then you can even see here on the side there. Can you see it? Yeah, so then there was a little bit of damage done there that I have had to. I'm not done fixing it up, but I've done a fairly good job of covering my tracks on that fuck up. But you can totally see on the top of this nut here that it's there's still super glue and shit that I feel like there's no way for me to get rid of it without chipping away even more of the fretboard. So I'm still got to figure out that one. But you'll notice how that's a black nut, right? And then we come over here and we have a look at Blondie. Come on, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Blondie. Can you see that? Do I have to step back? Oh, Jesus. Rule number 1, keep volume down while you're warming your tubes. Okay, yeah. Nope, still can't get it into focus. Christ, I'm fucking pathetic at this shit. Do I need to bend down on my knees to get this? How the fuck? Okay, here we go. Pull it back. Now we got it. Sort of. That's the best I'm going to do for now. Because I don't want to waste any more time. But, as you can see, if we move back up towards the nut, you'll see again that the nut is black. So, all 3 guitars, I have bought what's called a tusq nut, which is made out of a man-made graphite, which, if you didn't realize or didn't know already, just a little bit of trivia, what a lot of guitarists will do is when they use their bone nuts, they take graphite dust and will put it inside the slots of their nuts to allow lubrication of the strings. Now, this helps tuning stability. The main thing that is caused, like for tuning to not stay stable, is friction. So things like these string trees, if you can see, fuck it. Yeah, those string trees, you can see how they're circular. They basically roll. Normal string trees you're going to see, they're just like these little pieces of fucking nasty ass like metal that like you just, all they're meant is just to bring the tension down so that way they can get into tune and stay into place. But of course, because they're static, just metal, it just causes more tension. And then you've got this cheap plastic nut on your Squire or whatever, and that causes even more friction because it's fucking plastic. Like, there's no tonal capabilities or capacity with plastic. A good tone test that I've done in my research is if you take a plastic nut, a bone nut, and one of these graphite tusq nuts, and if you just simply bounce them, like you just hold it up above the table and you just drop them and you listen to the sound of what they make, the plastic obviously is going to be like, and the bone is going to have a much more richness in sound, and the graphite is going to have an even more richness in sound, because it's a man-made quality. Like they made it with graphite, and they made it and designed it to have the best tonal qualities as well as the lubricated thing on it, so that way you can have tuning stability and better sound. Because when it comes down to it, what is the strings really touching when it comes to a guitar? The string is touching the bridge, or specifically the saddle of the bridge, and it's touching the nut. Sure, yeah, it can go into the tuning head, and sure, yeah, in the back of the guitar or wherever it is that the ball of the string is going to be touching, yeah, sure, it touches those bits. But when it comes to actually playing the guitar, when you go to strum that open string, what is it that the string is touching and is causing that sound? It's the nut and it's the saddle. So, that being said, the utmost important thing that you can do if you want to have good tone in your guitar is you want the best nut possible on your guitar, which I'm standing by my decision that tusq nuts are superior than anything else on the market. And they're only like 15 quid. Easy for you to buy. They make them all shapes and sizes to fit all the different guitars. Just go on to eBay, Amazon, whatever, Amazon Prime, get it in 2 days, install the thing out, and Bob's your uncle, right? And you want to have good saddles, which in Black Beauty over here, we have solid brass. Nothing but solid brass saddles sitting on top of a solid brass, trem block. So that's brass on brass to get a nice warm sound. With Sweet Demon that we've got back over here, we have stainless steel saddles sitting on top of, once again, a solid brass trem block. So then you've got that kind of mixture, like the steel is more kind of less warm, but more of a kind of like a steely, I don't know how to pronounce it right now, but anyways, difference in sound quality. And that's because difference of material that we're using in the saddles. Okay, so now that we know that we've got the best, here we have chrome. If you can see that, this is pure black chrome. Okay, so even though it's black, it's chrome, and it's not chrome plated. It's just black chrome. Same thing with this guy over there. I didn't go cheap with this shit. I actually paid out for the proper stuff, you know? Anyways, so that's kind of guitar lesson that, and the tangent that I went off that I didn't intend to go to, but I had to show off my guitars at first, just so you could see. But now we're ready to kind of really show you the amp. And so here we have got, God, I wish I could flip this camera around. God, is there a button that, can we flip it? Do something. Fuck this. You're going to be laughing your ass off right now, I imagine. You're probably like, fucking hilarious. But yeah, anyways. Okay, cool. So I think we got this in camera. So fucking deadly this little thing is. I've yet to even put it in the 15 watt mode. I've only had it in the 1 watt mode, and I've never pushed the volume past level 3 because I get complaints from my roommates about how loud it is and I'm playing too loud. That's at 1 watt. So you can imagine if I were to fucking crank this beast while I'm on the 15 watt setting, that's going to be fucking absurd. It'll definitely keep up with the drummer, no problem. The thing is, it's so fucking light as well. Like, I remember having my Vox AC15, which is essentially the same amp. Like, maybe a few of the tubes are interchanged. Like, not exactly the same tube schematic, but more or less the same. But boy, was that fucker heavy. And it was like twice the size. Holy shit. And it had the same size 12-inch Celestion speaker inside. So how they made this one half the size, half the weight, and sound just as good, if not better, than the Vox AC30 that I had, and it's half the price. I have no fucking clue, but it is unreal. Okay, so we're just gonna run over some things here. Obviously, we've got it turned on. We're letting it warm up. We've got the gain here. Right now, I have it set at 7. 7 out of 10. Volume is all the way down. As we made a mistake earlier of keeping it up. Tone, I have I've got it at a 9. Tone doesn't affect the telly as much as it affects my strats. Because I get tone for days out of my telly, but I like to just keep the tone turned up as is. Bass I keep nice and low because I've got them fatty strings down on the bass end, and then treble I keep all the way to the top. Mid I've got at a 1 o'clock, and then the reverb, I fucking love my reverb, so I've got that set at 9. Okay, but first let me just show you. We're going to turn the gain down to about, let's say 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, okay? And we're going to turn the volume up to 2, okay? Can you hear that? There's hardly any buzz. Hardly any buzz at all. Even if I turn the volume up, volume's all the way up to 7. Buzz is very negligible. Like, yeah, nothing to worry about. But we're gonna put volume back to 3, maybe between 2 and 3, because we're doing this thing. I'm going to set this guitar back, or my phone back over here, so you can try and maybe see. Actually, no, I don't have anything to prop it up with. Shit. I'm gonna have to jerry-rig this shit. Should have been more prepared to try to actually make some kind of video here. This obviously isn't gonna work. Can we get it to go sideways? No, that's not gonna work either. Can we get it to lean against the pillow? Okay. Okay, I can see that. Okay, maybe we just keep the volume down. Move this over here just a little bit so you can see. Oh, sorry, my roommate's about to walk past, so never mind her. And okay. Oh yeah, and that's her dog, Pongo. It's a very lovely dog. I love having him around. Alright. So now we're ready to take you on a tour of tone. So the average telly comes simply with just your volume knob and your tone knob, and that's about it. And usually you get a 3-way switch. Now, if you notice, if I start and switch position 1, go 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute, holy shit. Why did it only click 2 times instead of, it clicked 3 times instead of 2? That's because I fucking modded this shit to have a 4th wire position, right? So obviously, top position, neck pickup only. Bottom position, bridge pickup only. Middle position, or bottom middle position, is what is your standard telly issue, where they run the 2 of these together in a parallel. Okay, that's to avoid hum, all right, but it affects the tone. Now, running it into this one runs both of these at the same time, only instead of running it in a series, maybe I'm getting it confused. One of them's a series, the other they're running parallel, meaning it's like they're both running as if they're single coils, instead of being paired together as in a series. Yeah, so I think this has them in a series to make it like a humbucker, so there's no buzz. This one, you get a little bit of hum out of it, but it's like you've got 2 single coils, as if it's like a Stratocaster. And I tell you, the tone in this is fucking... It's like my favorite tone out of anything I've ever played before in my life. But we'll flip you through all the different ones. So let's do this. We're going to start off. We're going to turn the volume all the way up. We're going to turn the tone all the way up. Okay. Now, as we said, we're going to set gain to 4 and volume to between 2 and 3. All right. You can't hear any buzz really coming from it at all. As you can see here, it's just my cord going straight into the amp. There's no pedals, there's no nothing. It's just pure, clean guitar tone, right? So let's just do a basic chord, make sure we're in tune. That's me in the neck position. Tasty. That's with my tone knob all the way up, right? Gain only at 4 o'clock. Volume very low. All right. Now let's see what happens when I start to dial down on this tone knob here. I've got it not to the bottom. I've got it at, say, maybe a 2 out of a 10, right? Listen to how clean that is. Bring the tone back up, and you've got that gain, and you've got that twang, you got some of that spank, that sparkle. Sorry, my playing's really shit at the moment, but then you just dialing down that tone knob just a bit. Super clean. Oh God, that's just gorgeous. All right, that's in the neck, right? Now, let's keep the tone at about 2. And our volume all the way up. We're going to go down to our bridge pickup here, right? So we've still got our gain set at 4. And let's hear what kind of crunch we can get from this guy. Now remember, this is the neck or the bridge. there's the neck in the exact same settings on the guitar. Switch to the bridge. So yeah, once again, when you got the tone knob, no, that was only at 2, so you can already this is already fucking twangy as shit, with the tone turned down. Now listen, if I just strum a chord and then turn the volume all the way up, and then strum again. It's like I fucking stomped on a pedal, but all I did was fucking turn my knob. Once again, turn it back down a little bit. That's maybe too much. Lost a little bit too much volume there. So it's twangy, but it's clean. Then we roll that up sucker all the way, tone at 10, and we're ready to be like. Sorry for the pentatonic scale and the really shitty playing of it. I'm so rusty, I've not played in fucking years, I've only been building. But sure, who wants to be playing up in the high register and the fucking bridge pickup, because we all know that just sounds like fucking shit. Like, whereas full gain and the bridge and the neck actually is fucking delightful. Right, so now here's where it gets fun. We start to mix the two pickups together, right? And so we're going to keep volume up, tone up all the way, and we're going to start in the bottom of the two. So these are running in a series, no hum. Again, can you hear any hum? It's not until I start to go like this that you hear hum. Or if I start to really crank the gain, that you hear the hum. And, so it's, this guitar is really quiet, and I put that down to the fact that I shielded it with that guitar paint. So look into shielding your guitar paint. Fucking, this thing's silent as a ghost. Okay. Anyways, so we are now both. Hear how fat and juicy that fucking sounds. by just putting the neck and the bridge together, we go from or this, or this, which is a nice little juicy, but then when we go into that fourth modded pickup, which is my favorite, and of course it sounds like absolute shit at the moment. Oh, I think it's probably because my cable's full. It's one of those shitty ones that came with the amp. Oh yeah, definitely the cable. Here, let's do something here. Yeah, so when I moved my amp, I moved it over my cord, which may have caused me to, may have caused the cord to go a little bit all wonky on me there. There we go, we're back at it. Okay, so, neck. Bridge. Series. And then in parallel. God fucking damn it, what's wrong with you? Is it this jack? It's gotta be the jack. Here, we'll turn this off for a second. This is very, 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 very embarrassing for me now. And you're laughing your tits off, I know it. But you know what? I'm not going to edit this shit because it is what it is. It's a hand-built guitar, and that's all I'm going to say. Alright, we'll flip this back on. Tubes are already warm. We're just going to wait for the sound to come back. Should come back in just a second here. Okay, so bridge. God, what the okay, I think I may need to resolder this shit. Because it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. And it was not doing this before I even tried to record this. So this is complete embarrassment on my part. And why it's doing this, I have no idea. Yeah, something must definitely be afoot with the soldering job. Fuck me, I'm gonna have to take this apart and redo it and resend you the tone. Well, you know what? Next best thing I'm gonna show you, we'll just forget the fourth switch. We'll just pretend that that doesn't even exist for now. But I'll show you what we've got between the bridge and the neck pickups and why I fucking love this tone so fucking much. Okay? So, we've got our tone and everything at full throttle. the true beauty of this is that's gain all the way up, and it was sounded very, very, very clean. And if I start to dial down that tone, you get even less fuzz. And if I try to play the same thing again, all of a sudden it's become much cleaner, much cleaner. So, what happens when I decide that I want to, let's just push the tone all the way up just for kicks and giggles. And I want to put my gain at 7 o'clock, okay? We'll reduce the volume down to about just under 2 o'clock to compensate. And then we'll put my tone all the way at 10. That's both guitars in a series. If I want that neck, or sorry, not the neck. If I want that bridge. Even if I crank it to 10. Now, not exactly heavy metal tones here, but that's some hard punk that I can definitely pull off, along with some fucking sweet rock. Like, now, when we mix the two together, fucking golden age 60s, like Cream, fucking Jimi Hendrix, and Jimmy Page, fucking great lead sounds. Got a nice bit of sustain there. But as I was saying, if we want to crank the gain, say to 7, and keep the volume where it's at, say between 1 and 2, so it's not too loud, so as not to annoy the roommates too much. But go ahead. Let's see. Is my still acting up. It's God, that pisses me off so much. It was working literally before I turned this video on, so it has to be a shoddy solder job, which guilty. I don't know how to fucking solder for shit. Should not be sounding like that. It should be sounding much more like that. Only instead of as shrill it should be sounding even fatter and juicier than what it normally, like than what this one does. So disappointing you don't get to hear that, because that was the one I wanted to show off the most. Anyways, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn the knob, or the tone knob, down to about 2 or 3. And my gain here is at 7. Okay? So you would imagine that with the gain cranked at 7, I'd be getting some pretty gnarly tones based off of what I showed you with the high gain, right? But when you actually listen, fuck it doesn't work as well. I have to roll off the volume just a little bit. Volume. That's it. So you get a nice, clean, just overdriven, lightly overdriven tone. Into that bridge, I just turn those 2 dials and go. Got out of tune while I was playing, but then when we're done with the heavy chorus, you can go right back into the. Let's see here. bridge. So let's try that with the gain all the way to the 10. And we're like, we'll just keep the tone down a little bit. Oh yeah, you can hear that gain even with the tone all the way down. You have to have it fucking non-existent. Let's say you want to play a song like that with just a little bit of grit on it instead of having it super clean. But I'm a creep. Anyways, my chops aren't anywhere where they used to be, but I mean, can you see that? Can you see the level, the difference between the tone when I roll it back and then roll it forward? I don't have to fucking touch them amp dials at all. I can just set them and then fucking use my volume and my tone, and that's it. And I have such a variety of sounds. And here we go again, just... This is full gain, volume 2 in the bridge. In the neck. Then we'll turn the volume or the tone down. Can you imagine? This is how clean it is, and the gang is cranked to the fucking max. Back down to the bridge. Oh, that's stanky. Stanky. Oh, I wish I needed the harmonics to throw in there. I think that's it. it's gonna work. You know, turn the tone knob all the way down, and not quite the same, is it? And then, of course, we'll go back to my favorite tone of the two together, all the way up together. And this is a great rock sound, like fucking like. Just your standard basic. But who likes basic shit when you can like turn down the volume just a tad and reduce that gain or the tone down to about a 2 and just get. Getting that mixture of jazzy clean chords mixed in with just the right amount of grit and dirt to make it just like oomph. If I knew how to play that song, I'd play it, but you get the idea. Fuck it, yeah, my playing sucks, so I'll stop now. But hopefully you got a good idea of the fucking tonal beast that this machine is. And that's before I even began to bust out my fuzz pedal or any of my overdrive pedals that are going to be coming in the next couple days, actually tomorrow. Yeah, they're coming tomorrow. So I'm going to have a shit ton of fun playing with them. Well, I hope this wasn't too much of a bore. 55 minutes. That went way longer than I anticipated. Hopefully it was worth it. If you skipped ahead and didn't watch a big fucking chunk of it, I'm not offended. But hopefully you enjoyed it. Anyways, talk to you. Bye.